I would say that we basically go speak to the youth, um, talk to the participants of the program, and just try to like get them to just introduce the ideas of financial literacy. Just try to get them to at least think about not wasting their money and saving their money and like stretching their dollar. Um, Especially since in our community, you see a lot of poverty and impoverished. Like we live in impoverished areas. There are impoverished areas in the city, so I would just say like just trying to introduce like what being smart with money could do for you in the long run. Ultimately, that's basically what we do. I would say the very first time I had a presentation, my very first presentation to the football players at Shabazz, it was the workers that were working at Shabazz. They responded like really well to me, and I felt like that definitely was the most memorable moment for me because it made me feel like I was doing something right. Like it made me feel like I'm a finance major at Rutgers North, so I want to get into financial planning and help people save their money and things like that. So to introduce things like credit and explain how you finance a car, how you finance a mortgage, and why it's important to take small steps like joining a credit union. For me to be able to explain it and then be able to connect it from A, B, C to D to put it all together, it was like it all came together for me, and it was just like, yeah, like this is what you need to be doing, like you're doing the right thing.
Why do you think this program is important?
I think it's important because this is not just managing money isn't just, it's a life skill, right? And it's not just about money, it involves a lot of discipline. So I believe that the most successful people are disciplined and practice restraint. And to manage money, you have to be disciplined and you have to practice restraint. You can't spend impulsively. You can't, get everything that you want when you want it. You have to wait. You have to put money to the side. You have to be responsible. And I feel like that's transferable to when you're in work, when you're working and you want to go out and you want to do this, but you can't. You have to manage your time. Even with life, when you want to have fun, you don't want to have too much fun. Everything in moderation. So I feel like managing money is just transferable to everything in life. Like you have to do everything in moderation. Be smart.
What would you like to learn about financially?
What would I like to learn?
Yeah.
I would like to learn a little bit more about the stock market. I would say stock market investing, real estate, like how to make money in those sort of ways.
Do you feel like your message resonated with the kids?
I believe so. I mean, of course, there are those, there are those that you try to reach that are a little hard-headed, but I think me being young and me being from the city, and actually, having graduated from University High School, I'm currently a student at Rutgers North. I played sports in high school. I play sports now, but I'm showing them something different. Like you don't have to be the athlete. You don't have to be the typical, like you don't have to be a professional athlete in order to be successful, and make an impact and make a difference in people's lives. So I think that's what I will hope that's what they would take.
What are your long-term goals for the program?
For this program?
Yeah.
Long term, I would like to see it just to continue to just build on what we've started, I guess. It was kind of tight, like scheduling and stuff like that was kind of tight, like getting to the kids and actually talking to them and things like that. But maybe the organization could be a little bit better, I guess. Not just the Young Money Managers, but just as a whole in general, because sometimes sites have kids that leave and they don't report back and they don't, so a lot of things are confusing. But I would just like to see the program to continue to do what it's doing, educating the youth, just pumping financial literacy into the community, because it starts here. Like it starts with the youth, and maybe even like starting to talk. So maybe sometimes high school is too late. You know what I mean? Like maybe sometimes when you're in high school, you sort of setting your ways, or you're setting, your habits are already there and they're harder to break. So, I mean, for the program, I would like to see it continue to do, but maybe even try to reach the kids at an even younger age to introduce, financial literacy,
Do you see the transformation happening in Newark right now?
Definitely. You can just look downtown and just see a lot of the businesses coming back. Uh, I go to Rutgers North again, so the Starbucks, the Blaze Pizza, the Nike, the Qdoba, Halal Guys, Jimmy John's, Prudential, like just everything about the downtown area is improving, like gentrification at its finest, honestly.
And would you say this change is for the better or for the worse?
I know that an inverse of money coming into the city is that the property taxes go up around the city. So right so like basically us in New York, like the closer you get to New York, the more expensive it is to live. So the more that you have, the more expensive it is going to be to live. So there are probably going to be a lot of people that aren't in the working class in the city of Newark that are going to have to relocate. I mean, it's good for the city, but for the people, not so much. I think now more than ever, it just sends the message that you have to get up and you have to get to it. Honestly, you have to get up there and you have to get to it and make something of yourself. Work hard. You know what I mean? It starts like things like financial freedom are a big piece of that. But you can't depend on anybody to help you in some ways. In some cases, like you have to get out there and work.
What are your plans after the program?
Going back to school, trying to graduate this year. Trying to finish up at Rutgers Newark with my major in finance. I got 2 concentrations in entrepreneurship and real estate. So I'm trying to figure it out. I got money, property, and my own business under my belt in some sort of way. So I figured that's a nice push to go into the real world with. So.
What did you learn about yourself in the last 6 weeks?
A lot. I've learned that I love working with kids, or I love working with the youth because it's just so rewarding. I think part of being the only child, and not the only child, I'm sorry, the youngest child, is that you're always being taught something. You don't really have an opportunity to teach, right? So you learn from everybody, but then it's like, who really learns from you? So I think that actually getting into like schools and, well, I was at a few schools, well, one school, and talking to students that I could literally remember myself being. Like, it was yesterday, even though it was like 5 years ago, which is crazy to say right now. It was just very rewarding. It was just very rewarding. It made me feel like I was doing something right, like I was doing something good. Pay it forward, give back. Those are all things that are important, and this is just a small way of giving back to the community and improving the community. Like, it starts with the knowledge and educating the youth about, being smart. So that was by far the most rewarding thing from this. And that's what I learned about. That's what I learned. I would hope so. I mean, couldn't really develop a personal relationship with the participants, but for the most part, they seem to, respond to me pretty well. We could talk. We spoke about money, spoke about credit, explained, how do you put a down payment on a home and then get a mortgage, and then I want the lowest interest rate on the mortgage, and introducing stuff like that. Like, that's why it's important to join a credit union and pay your bills on time and no late fees and look credible and look good and things like that. So,
would you work for the program again next year?
Absolutely. If I wasn't working or anything like that, or if I could, I would definitely do it, because it's really not about the money, right? This job, you don't really make that much money. It's an opportunity for one, and two, it's you're hands on with the children, so it's like the value in helping the youth is far more important than, or is far greater than the money that you could have been making somewhere else or something like that.
What would make the program better for next year?
I feel like the young money managers we should probably start a little earlier. I think we sort of have to be a step ahead of the game So like we need to introduce financial literacy on their first day at the site. You know what I mean? So that way they know, okay, for 6 weeks this person is going to be coming. I'll probably see this person once every 2 weeks or once every week and a half. So we can get in there early, so we can talk to them before they even though they probably already developed ideas about what they're going to do with their money, before they even, so their first check can come and it could be in direct deposit. You know what I mean? As opposed to like trying to play catch up. So I think if we were just like a little bit ahead of time, like maybe 2 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks before, it would just make that transition a lot smoother.